Jon Krakauer begins the story at the end, so what we already know is what happens to Chris McCandless. This was clever by Krakauer because it keeps the reader wondering how McCandless could die when he seemed to have hope in his future. Krakauer forms this book strictly off interviews and a journal that Chris McCandless left behind. The main character is Chris McCandless, who is an Emory graduate who decided that he was going to drop all his life savings into charity and his college experience and travel the country. Chris is 24 years old, and the story starts off with him meeting Jim Gallion, who tries to advise him not to follow through with his plans in searching the Alaskan wilderness on April 28, 1992. The book then skips to September 6, 1992, where a group of people find an abandoned bus where they found Chris McCandless dead and weighing only 67 pounds. In the third chapter, Krakauer starts to introduce you into Chris's life before his death and the people he encountered. In October 1990, McCandless burnt all the money in his wallet and left his car abandoned and met Jan Burrs and Bob, who he lived with for a few weeks and stayed in touch with. In May 1991, McCandless is in Bullhead City working at a McDonald's and didn't keep up with his personal hygiene and later left due to that. He met up with Jan and Bob again, and they stated how he kept to himself, but if he was ever really around a group of people, he would have a great time with them, which meant that he wasn't socially awkward. Chris meets Ron France, who is a man whose wife and son died in a car accident, and they became friends, but Chris left him one day and went to San Diego. Krakauer introduces us in Chapter 7 to Wayne Westerberg, who McCandless worked for in South Dakota. McCandless told people he wanted to know and travel to Alaska and write a book concluding everything he's encountered in his travels. McCandless was set on this journey and wouldn't let anything stand in his way from doing it, and set off April 27, 1992. This is an interesting story on the development of Chris McCandless, or Alex, who dies in the beginning of the book, and you feel the need to read on to figure out just how a man like him could find himself dead after seeming to have a very bright and aspiring future.